Siva, who is also known by his stage name SK, is a young man filled with dreams and energy. He is a very passionate and hard-working theatre actor who loves being on stage and performing in front of people. His entire life revolves around acting and becoming someone great. He has only one strong wish in life, one big aim that keeps pushing him forward every single day. He wants to become a superstar in the Tamil film industry, just like his biggest role model, the one and only Rajinikanth, a very famous and much-loved Tamil movie actor known for his unique style and massive fan following. Siva wants to reach the same level of fame, success, and respect that Rajinikanth has achieved through years of acting and winning people's hearts. But even though Siva is very talented in many ways and is deeply passionate about acting, he has one serious weakness that keeps holding him back. He finds it extremely difficult to act in romantic scenes, that is, scenes that show love and emotions between a man and a woman. Whenever he has to act in such scenes, he becomes awkward, uncomfortable, and is not able to express romantic feelings naturally. Because of this problem, he often loses out on good opportunities. This weakness becomes a big problem when Siva decides to audition for a role in a popular upcoming movie titled Avvai Shanmugi 2. This film is the sequel to the original Avvai Shanmugi, which was a very famous and loved Tamil comedy drama film. The sequel is being directed by the experienced and well-respected director K.S. Ravikumar. Siva is extremely excited about the audition and sees it as his big chance to enter the film world. But sadly, during the audition, he again struggles with the romantic scenes. His performance doesn't impress the director, and he gets rejected. This rejection breaks Siva's heart and crushes his hopes. He feels extremely disappointed and defeated, especially because he had so much respect for this film and the director. While Siva is feeling low and heartbroken after this incident, something unexpected happens in his life. He meets a young, kind-hearted, and beautiful doctor named Kavya. She is sincere about her work and treats her patients with love and care. The very moment Siva sees Kavya, he is completely taken over by her charm and grace. He falls in love with her instantly, without a second thought. This love is pure and strong, and he decides he wants to spend the rest of his life with her. Without wasting much time, Siva decides to go to her house and tell her about his feelings. He goes there with hope in his heart, wanting to tell her how much he loves her and ask her to accept his love. But to his shock and sadness, he finds out that Kavya is already engaged to another man. She is going to marry a doctor named Vishwanath, who is also known as Vishv. A short and friendly name people call him by. This news deeply upsets Siva. His heart feels broken once again. But even though he is sad, he refuses to give up. He still believes he can win Kavya's heart and decides to try everything he can to stop her from marrying Vishv. He comes up with a strange but smart plan. Siva decides to disguise himself as a woman. He puts on makeup, clothes, and even changes his voice to become someone else completely. He takes on a new identity, a woman nurse named Remo. The name, Remo, is a short form of Regina Motwani, which is his made-up name that mixes the names of two actresses, Regina Cassandra and Hansika Motwani. Dressed as Remo, Siva applies for a job at the same hospital where Kavya works. His goal is to stay close to her and find a way to make her fall in love with him, all without revealing who he really is. As Remo, who is actually Siva, becomes very close to Kavya as nurse. They become best friends. Kavya trusts Remo and shares her thoughts and feelings with her. But every time Siva, while acting as Remo, brings up the topic of her engagement and tries to tell her not to marry Vishwa. Kavya says no. She is clear that she is going to marry Vishwa and doesn't want to break her promise. Even though Siva keeps trying many times in different ways, nothing seems to change Kavya's mind. Still, Siva doesn't lose hope. He decides to surprise Kavya on her birthday with something special. He prepares a big celebration and comes in front of her not as Remo, but as his real self, Siva. At the party, he proposes his love to her again, but this time directly and openly. Kavya is very surprised and touched by the kind gesture. The way he planned everything makes her feel special. She starts feeling confused. Even though she is already engaged to Vishwa, she cannot ignore the feelings she has started developing for Siva. Kavya finds herself stuck in the middle of two important people, Vishwa, to whom she is already engaged, and Siva, who has truly shown her how much he loves her. She feels torn between her duty and her heart. Siva, knowing that she is in such confusion, keeps switching between his two roles, Siva and Remo, trying to slowly guide her toward the right choice, which he believes is choosing love over duty. He carefully hides the fact that he and Remo are the same person. He does not want to break her trust before she makes a decision. Finally, Kavya accepts her true feelings and admits that she loves Siva. Just when it looks like everything is falling into place and Siva might get both love and success, something shocking happens. Vishwa, who had secretly been watching Kavya and Siva together, decides to act quickly. Without telling anyone, he propones their wedding and announces that he and Kavya will get married soon. Kavya is shocked and disturbed by this sudden decision. But after thinking deeply, she decides to be brave and follow her heart. She chooses to walk away from the engagement and goes to find Siva. She finds him dressed as Remo and begins telling him how much she loves him, not knowing that Remo is actually Siva. At this important moment, Vishwa shows up with a group of goons. He tries to take Kavya away. But Siva, still dressed as Remo, fights back. He protects Kavya by fighting off Vishwa and the goons with strength and courage. While all this is happening, Siva gets an emergency call from the hospital. A small girl named Nancy, who is very sick and doesn't have any parents, is calling for Remo. Nancy and Siva had built a strong bond. She believed Remo could do magic and once made him promise that he would turn into a man, like a magic trick, one day. Now, Siva rushes to Nancy's room. In front of her, he keeps his promise. He removes his Remo costume and shows that he is actually Siva. Nancy is very happy to see this magic come true. But at the same time, Kavya also sees this. She realizes that the nurse Remo, her close friend, is actually Siva. Her heart is broken. She feels cheated and angry. She believes Siva tricked her and ruined her engagement just to get her love. She shouts at him and tells him never to come near her again. Siva tries hard to explain, to say sorry, and tell her that his love was always true. But Kavya is too hurt to listen. Siva, heartbroken, walks away in silence. Some time passes. A few months later, Kavya is traveling on a bus. An old man is sitting next to her. Kavya starts talking to him. She shares how Siva is still following her around and keeps calling her, even though she has changed her phone number 46 times to stop him. She says she is angry at him, but deep down, she still loves him. She says she is avoiding him only to make him feel the same pain she felt when he tricked her. But then, something strange happens. Kavya slowly realizes that the old man beside her is not really an old man, it is Siva in disguise again. She is shocked and angry that he fooled her again. She scolds him for it, but at the same time, her heart melts. She smiles, forgives him, and tells him to marry her. Siva is overjoyed. He says yes happily. The movie ends with a joyful scene where Siva finally becomes what he always wanted to be, a film actor. He is seen acting in a movie. The movie is based on Siva's own life story. The movie is titled Remo Ni Kadlan, which means Remo, you are my lover. The film is directed by K.S. Ravikumar, the same director who once rejected Siva in the beginning. The role of Kavya is played by actress Sri Divya, who plays a character named Dr. Divya. In the end, Siva gets everything he dreamed of: success, love, and a place in cinema history.